Hello, everybody. Good afternoon from Japan, and thank you for joining our virtual tour by Japan Travel and Savor Japan. My name is Jerome, and I will be getting things started. Today, we are traveling to Yamagata Prefecture in northern Japan, where we have two teams led by the Hidden Japan, experts in Yamagata and northeastern Japan. We will be exploring nature and culture in the holy region known as Dewa Sanzan, or the three mountains of Dewa. These sacred mountains are renowned across Japan for their spiritual importance and history of more than 1400 years. Let's bring in our teams now for a quick introduction before we start the tour. Our outdoor team is led by Sarah with support from Dohi, who is visiting the area for the first time. They will be showing us the pilgrimage paths and the outdoor areas with a local Yamabushi mountain monk leading them along some of the pilgrimage paths. Hello, Sarah and Dohi. We are looking forward to walking the paths with you.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Well, very excited for today's visit. I hope you are too.
Our second team is led by Alex with support from another first-time visitor, Luca. They will be located primarily indoors and will give us a guided tour of a temple lodging while showing us the local foods and Buddhist cuisine of the area. Alex and Luca, we look forward to tasting some foods with you soon.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to Shonai. Looking forward to showing everyone the mountain Shukubo lodges as well as the delectable Shojin Yori. Looking forward to the tour.
See you soon. We are all looking forward to that. And we will alternate back and forth throughout the tour between myself and our two teams on the ground. Due to the timing, our crew are taking all necessary safety precautions to deliver this experience to you today. As we are in March, we are just ending the winter season in Yamagata, so you can expect some snow on the ground as we walk around outside today. We also may have a little bit of rain today, unfortunately. And also, since we're in a remote mountain region, we may have a few periods during the tour where we have poor connectivity, so I ask that you bear with us for a little while during these times. Also, feel free to get involved with us today in the chat and ask questions throughout the tour. We will try to communicate with you live where possible, and at the end of the tour, we will have a Q&A session where we will answer as many of your questions as we can. Now, let's turn over to our outdoor team led by Sarah and Dohi. Sarah, are you ready to show us around?
Yes, I am very ready, and I hope every one of you is too. My name is Sarah. I am a French living in Tsuruoka for 4 years now, and I have the pleasure to be accompanied with this lovely lady, Dohi, who's visiting the region for the first time, and a real Yamabushi priest today.
Yeah, so hello everyone, my name is Dohi, and now I'm living in Tokyo for the last 3 years, but I'm originally from South Korea. So today I'm so excited to enjoy this tour with Sarah-san and you all. And I will ask some questions along the way because this area is so brand new to me. So yeah, excited.
I hope Dohi and you two will like Mount Haguro as much as I do. Mount Haguro is one of the reasons why I haven't left the region since I first arrived here. So I'm very excited for today's visit.
Yeah.
So first, before beginning the visit, I think it's best to remind what Mount Haguro and Yamabushi are. So Mount Haguro is one of the three sacred mountains of Dewa, which is also called Dewa Sanzan in Japanese. Dewa Sanzan are sacred mountains of a religion called Shugendo. Shugendo is a syncretism of Buddhism, Shinto, and ancient mountain worshipping beliefs. And Yamabushi, just like Mr. Nakano, are the practitioners of Shugendo religion. For Yamabushi, the mountain is a Buddha, and it's also a place where you can gain powers from nature, from the mountains. And those powers and this encounter with a Buddha allow you to get reborn in a more enlightened spiritual version of yourself. But I think it's best to ask directly Mr. Yamabushi what he thinks of Yamabushi.
Yes, at first because like his outfit is so amazing and like, you know, it was overwhelming to me. So I want to ask about like, what is this seashell and was the small head on his forehead.
中野さん、ドーヒーはどうしてこんな格好をしているかを知りたいと。
はい。
これが山伏の装束の格好になってまして、まあ、これ、トキンって言います。
So this is a traditional outfit of the Yamabushi priests. And the little hat you see on his forehead is called tokin.
Tokin.
It is used by the Yamabushi as a cup to drink water.
Oh,
when they do
so
their trainings. Yes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yamabushi are practitioners that can stay a very long period of time in the mountains for their spiritual trainings and rituals. So they need to survive in the mountains. But they have to carry all those survival items on them, so it's more practical. So you have a cup to drink water on his forehead. You also have these very long sleeves on the vest that can act as a bed sheet when they're sleeping in the mountains to keep them warm. Yes, to protect them from the mountains cold.
But it looks a bit cold. Aren't you? Come on, really? It's also part of drinking, right? Okay.
Yes, exactly. And you also have this conch shell that he is going to blow during our way to the pagoda. It's to signal his position to his peers and also to repel the evil spirits that can inhabit the places. So he will protect us by blowing the shell at some different parts of the path. Yes. So usually, Mount Haguro's pilgrimage should be accomplished in silence as a form of meditation. But exceptionally today, Mr. Nakano is going to explain us the whereabouts of Mount Haguro and its spirituality and its history. But yes, please remember that normally you should focus on the energy released by the mountain and the nature. Okay. So should we begin our ritual?
Yes. So before I move,
go grab your ritual stick. The Kongo Zue.
So now I changed with my rain boots and I'm with this ritual stick.
Yes, the Kongo Zue. Kongo Zue. Yes, it's the same stick that the Yamabushi priest has. It symbolizes the 5 realms in Buddhism. So, Nakano-san,
はい。
羽黒さんは、見学する前にどんな場所なのか教えてもらえますか？ What kind of places Mount Haguro is?
羽黒山は約400メートルの高さがあるお山でして、杉並木に囲まれている山です。そして、今からご案内する、道がこの羽黒山の入り口になってます。一旦地獄に落ちて、そして、極楽浄土を目指すというような形になります。
So Mount Haguro is the smallest mountain of the 3 mountains of Dewa. It's only 400 meters high, around 400 meters. And the place we are going to access right now is considered the entrance to Mount Haguro. And it's also called hell.
Hell?
Like the Christian hell.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It's the part of the path that we are going to go down right now. And after staying some time in this hell, we are going to access to the heaven part of Mount Haguro, which goes up. So we have to go down and go up in order to get reborn in our spiritual ourselves. Then let's go to the Let's go.
Yes, so this is Jerome here. As our team is making their way down the steps, they will be kind of like taking it a little bit slowly, and only because it is pretty slippery now that we're in winter season, or rather approaching the end of winter season in Yamagata. If the audience members noticed my Zoom background just now, that was also the steps at Haguro-san. And I can only safely say that you definitely need a lot of concentration while going down the steps in winter. Otherwise, yeah, you might just accidentally slip and fall. Yeah, so you want to be really careful here. Yeah, definitely also, you know, as as Sarah mentioned just now, Haguro-san is one of the three holy mountains in Dewa. And there is also Yudono-san and Gata. Beautiful. And if you guys ever think about going to Haguro-san, definitely it's really easy to access from Tokyo. There is a direct flight from Tokyo's Haneda Airport. Ooh, we have someone who is taking her time. Yeah, as you can tell, it's really slippery there. Yeah. But back to what I was saying. So it's only a short 1-hour flight from Tokyo's Haneda Airport to Shonai Airport, and then it's a short bus ride before you go to the start of Haguro-san. Yes. So the team has to be careful now, and they're also using sticks to kind of like guide their steps too. It's a bit of a way down, and we don't want the team to be falling anywhere. Yep. In case you guys were wondering, from the start of the path that Sarah, Dohi, and the Yamabushi monk took, it takes about 2,446 steps all the way to the summit. So they have to go down first before they go up again. Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier in the summer as compared to the winter, as you guys can evidently see. Yeah. Sarah, Dohi, are we ladies doing all right there?
The road is covered with snow and it's very slippery. Yeah, it's called hell for a reason.
Please be careful. Like, don't trip and fall. We definitely want you to show us the rest of Haguro-san today, even though we're not making all the way to the summit. Yes, so be careful, guys. So a couple of more interesting facts for our audience members today. So the Dewa Sanzan, I was going to say that for the Dewa Sanzan, Dewa Sanzan symbolizes birth, and it's usually the first shrine visited by pilgrims. So along these steps, there are 33 figures that are carved into the stone steps that bring prosperity to anyone who can find them all. So the next time that you come here, try and see if you can find all 33 figures. You might just end up with a long life filled with prosperity. Yeah. So as Sarah mentioned just now, the purpose of the horn, it's a very good question. The purpose of the horn is to scare away, to repel evil spirits, and to signal the position of the Yamabushi monk. Yeah, it's really interesting. So you can imagine that the team here, safely guided. It is a little bit dangerous only during winter, but we can safely assure that during other seasons, during all seasons, it's completely safe. Just in the winter, it's a little bit slippery. Yes. Okay, we're just gonna wait for the cameraman to approach them a little bit closer.
Finally arrived in hell, Jigoku.
The hell area.
The hell area. It was very difficult to arrive here, but we made it.
Yeah.
We can be proud of ourselves. So as you can see around us, there are a lot of little shrines, Shinto shrines around us. And maybe Mr. Nakano can explain us what this particular shrine is.
はい、ここはイタケル神社と申しまして、昔でいう閻魔様、閻魔堂をお祭りしています。ここで、皆さん、裁きを受けて、そしていよいよ極楽浄土を目指すという場所です。
So this little shrine called Itakeru Jinja was once a trial court, a court to judge people and evaluate if they were worthy of beginning the journey of rebirth. To evaluate if they had not too much stains, as we call in Japanese, pegare. So this was that kind of place, and it was a Buddhist place at the time, but now it's a Shinto shrine.
Certainly, like the horns are definitely the many times that the Yamabushi monk is blowing the horn, it's definitely gonna repel all the evil spirits around the area. So, I bet the team definitely feels as safe as they could be. Yes. So they're just slowly making their way down the more icy paths now, and coming what we can only describe as a beautiful bridge with a real crimson red to it. Really stands out in this scenery. Yeah. We have the sound of the waterfall here as well. So I also want to mention that there are several attractions located along this walking trail. So near the trailhead stands a museum called Ideha Museum. There are information and exhibits on Shugendo, Yamabushi, who are practitioners of Shugendo, and of course Dewa Sanzan. For those who are afraid of language barriers, no worries, because there are English translations at many of the displays.
Hi back. We just have crossed the Shinto bridge, the God's bridge, that makes the transition between hell and the holy territory of the gods. So in Shugendo, as I said earlier, Shinto and Buddhism merged together. And Shugendo arrived 1 century after Buddhism arrived in Japan from Korea to the Silk Road in the 6th century. It was a shaman with a lot of mystical powers who invented Shugendo in the 7th century. He brought the ancient mountain worshipping practices back at the core of the Buddhist worship. And for the Shugendo practitioners, the mountain is a Buddha and also a place where one can earn magical powers. As you can see here, there is a river called Haraikawa River. Haraikawa means in Japanese the cleansing river.
So our team is just getting a little bit closer, where they can introduce us.
This river here is used by the Yamabushi practitioners to cleanse their stains away before beginning their journey of rebirth, because they need to be as pure as possible to accept Buddha's powers inside themselves.
So that's the process. So people go into the hell area and they judge their sins by the god, and they cross the bridge, and then they become here to the heaven area.
If they are pure enough.
Yeah, and then they're washing their body and sins at the river, right?
Yes, as a ritual. And at the time, Shinto and Buddhism coexisted together in a very harmonious philosophy.
Wow.
But in the 19th century, the government separated Buddhism and Shinto in order to make Shinto the national religion. At this moment, a lot of Buddhist buildings and Buddhist statues got removed from these Shinto places. So you have seen earlier that we had Shinto Shrines. Then here we have another Shinto Shrine. But at the end, we are going to go by the Pagoda, which is a Buddhist building. And Mr. Nakano is going to explain us why such a Buddhist building remains in a Shinto place. But this is essentially the essence of Shugendo's philosophy. It's Buddhism, Shinto, and mountain worshipping all together in a harmonious gathering. Let's go. Pagoda.
Definitely the sound of the horn that the Yamabushi monk is blowing. It's definitely going to overpower my own voice as well. So some really interesting things going on here as well. I also wanted to talk a little bit more about the kinds of deities that are believed to dwell on this mountain for our audience members. This includes a deity called Ugano Mitama no Mikoto. It's the god of agriculture, and Ideha no Kami, the god who watches over all of what was once the Dewa province. Of course, Sarah, Dohi, and the Yamabushi monk are nearing one of the main sites for today's tour. We're gonna keep you guessing as to what that might be, but let me just say that it is a beautiful site, looks beautiful in all seasons, and if you look from the low, it's just wonderful seeing all the details and how it was constructed in its time.
Wow, I see this huge tree. Yeah, can you see the pagoda? Sitting over there. So we are now in front of Mount Haguro's most ancient, the oldest tree of Mount Haguro. It's almost 100 feet tall, which is 30 meters tall.
Oh, it's huge.
Can you see the rope around?
Yeah. This Shintoism, right?
That's a Shinto rope. It's called a...
Oh, wait. Oh, Shimenawa, right.
Shimenawa ropes delimitate the territory of the gods and also prevent the evil spirits to come inside.
Oh.
So that means that inside that giant tree, you have a god living.
Oh. So the rope is protecting the god.
It is protecting the tree and the god in itself. Can you guess the tree's age?
I guess it's over 500 years old.
That's very true. Do you know the name of this tree?
Jijisugi, right?
Jijisugi. That means in English? That means in English, grandpa cedar.
Jiji.
Jiji means grandpa, and Sugi is cedar, so it's grandpa cedar. Grandpa cedar is over 1,000 years old.
Wow, 1,000 is 2 times.
It's 2 times what you estimated.
Wow.
And this is the reason why it is registered as a national natural monument of Japan. Yes. 谷さん、言いたいことがありますか？Jiji sugi.
言い過ぎの光、ババすぎっていうのもありました。
Oh, before a big storm just completely destroyed the tree, there was also grandma cedar that was standing next to grandpa cedar, but it has been completely destroyed by a storm.
Unfortunately.
So now we can head to the most famous part of Mount Haguro, the 5-story pagoda.
Yes, that was some beautiful introduction to Grandpa Cedar. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to see Grandma Cedar in time, but I'm sure when Grandma and Grandpa Cedar were together, they were definitely a sight to behold during their time. A couple of interesting facts for audience members. So do you recall how Sarah and Dohi exclaimed the rope that was wrapped around the cedar? So the name for it is Shimenawa. Nawa comes, it means rope, and it's also the same Nawa, the kanji is also similar to Japan's southernmost island, Okinawa. So you guys know a little bit more about how the word Nawa comes from. And I just also wanted to speak a little bit more about
So this is the national treasure of Mount Haguro, the 5-story pagoda. This pagoda is over 1,000 years old, and it's very different from the other pagodas that exist in Kyoto or Nara, for example.
Normally they're painted in red, right?
Yeah, that's very true. Normally pagodas are very showy, very bright, very luxurious.
Yeah.
But this one is kind of simple, isn't it?
Yeah. Why? Why is it?
So some Yamabushi say that this pagoda hasn't been painted in bright red colors, unlike other pagodas in Japan, to make it blend inside the forest. So it represents the Shugendo way of thinking, nature. This human construction makes one with nature. And this is what Yamabushi aim to do, is to make one with nature, make one with the gods of nature. This pagoda and its plain look just represents this spirituality, this philosophy.
Oh, that's why. At first, actually, I thought it was filled up because it's too hard. But it's like with surrounding forest.
So we have talked earlier about Shinto, Buddhism being practiced together, but then in 1868 it got separated. But as you can see,
yeah, it's still there.
This Buddhist pagoda is still standing in this Shinto place, in this made Shinto. Mr. Nakano can maybe explain us why.
はい。
なぜこの仏教の建物である五重塔が今まで立っているか教えてもらいます。
はい。仏教の建物、これが、廃仏毀釈という時に、壊されそうになりました。その時に、麓の人が守ろうとしてですね、仏様の像を出して、中に神様の像を入れ直したんです。そして、神道の塔だというように説明して、塔を守ったと言われています。
So this pagoda was very loved by the local people. The local people, when the government threatened to destroy it from Mount Haguro, because Mount Haguro was proclaimed a Shinto place by the government at the time, they knew that it was going to be destroyed. And in order to avoid that, they removed the Buddhist statues that were kept inside originally and replaced them with Shinto statues.
Well,
So
they kind of lied, right?
yeah, for the people at the time, Shinto was not different from Buddhism. So it didn't matter to them to replace Shinto and Buddhism, and it was the same.
Yeah,
So
they're so clever.
It's not really a lie. It's like a manipulation of truth.
yeah. But I kind of feel that the local people's feeling, because like for them, if it's like Buddhist or like Shintoism, it doesn't matter because the God is protecting them.
The important thing was to keep the pagoda alive because it was so important to them.
So we're nearing the 5-story pagoda now, and we have some audience members saying that the vibes here give a Ghost of Tsushima vibe, or even the Last Samurai vibe. Very interesting like insight here, and I really hope that everyone's enjoying this at the moment.
So maybe you may be wondering why the Yamabushi has bowed in front of the pagoda. So let's ask him why he bowed.
Yeah, and can you let us know how to pray like precisely?
Sure. 中野さん、
はい、
今五重塔の、前で、お辞儀したんですけど、
はい、
その理由は何でしょうか。
ここに神様が、静まってますので、ここでそのお祈り、拝礼をさせていただきました。
So Mr. Nakano said that he prayed in front of the 5-story pagoda because inside the pagoda there's a god. So maybe us too, we can pray in front of the pagoda. So we can maybe live a long life just like Gigi Sugi, the Grand Pastor.
Yes.
So do you know how to pray the Dewa Sanzan way?
I don't know the Dewa Sanzan way, so
Okay,
please.
so let's try it.
Yeah.
Usually when there's no snow, there's a prayer box in which you throw a coin. And usually you have to use a coin that has a hole in the middle.
Yeah, there's hole in
It's for the
middle.
luck to get through.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah,
Oh.
in Japanese we say mitoshi ga ii, so it means the luck goes through. Like, do you have good forecast for the future? So in order to have the luck going through the coin, you need a hole. So this is why you can use 5 yen or 50 yen coins. Okay, but this time there's no prayer box. So we're just
normally
going to...
we throw it first, right?
Yeah, normally you throw it first, then you bow twice. You clap twice. And then you bow once again. And this is how you pray.
Oh, thank you.
中野さんが、この五重塔について、どう思いますか、個人的に。
個人的にですか？個人的にもうここに来ると、清められるような、もうずっと1000年ここにずっと立ち続けてるんで、どういう歴史があるのかなと見てても飽きないですね。
So Mr. Nakano is very touched by the pagoda because it has been standing for more than 1,000 years. So it is very mystical to him, and he gets the feeling that he gets purified every time he looks at the pagoda. この五重塔は木製ですよね。他に使われている鉄の部分があるんです。
ここは釘を一切使ってません。ですので木をこう組んで作るような形になってます。
So this pagoda is made of pure wood. There is no metallic nail that has been used for its construction. It's 100% wood.
So I have a question. So what is inside the pagoda? I'm just curious about it.
ただいま、五重塔の中に何か安置されていますか？
神様が出ています。神様のご神体、魂、ね、そういうものを静まってますよという。
There's a spirit of a Shinto god residing inside the pagoda. But originally it was a Buddhist statue.
Right. Normally people put like Buddha's bone inside, right?
Yeah. 中野さん、道義さんは質問が。
Yeah, I have another question, sorry. So, how is your like daily life as Yamabushi?
山伏としての、毎日の一日はどんな感じですか？
ですね、季節によっても違うんですけど、まずお参り、祈りです。これが山伏の中で一番あるので、そのために山に入って修行して、心身ともに鍛えるというところだと思います。
So it depends on the season, but every day he is praying for the spiritual enlightenment of his soul. And at the approach of each season, he undergoes ritual that is called Mineibi, retreat at the peak. And during those trainings, he trains both his mind and his body.
Oh, both his mind and body.
Yes.
Thank you.
So I hope you had a good time with us to the pagoda. I hope you liked Mount Haguro's history and culture. And if you have any question about Yamabushi, Mount Haguro, Shugendo, feel free to ask them in the chat. And we will let Nakano-san know of them, and we will try to answer them the best as possible.
Hello, everyone, again. Thank you so much, Sarah, Dohi, and of course, the Yamabushi monk, Nakano-san, for showing us around the mountain. We will catch up with them later for a bit of questions. Before we switch over to Alex and Luca, Team B, I want to share a survey link for you in the chat. If you have 2 minutes during or after the tour, please help us out. We appreciate it as it will help us find ways to improve our future tours. We also want to mention that our tour today is part of the Savor Japan project, dedicated to sharing local life, foods, and experiences across Japan. Savor Japan encourages tourists to explore rural destinations and flavors across Japan, and often focuses on relatively undiscovered farming, fishing, and mountain communities. We hope to extend this series further into 2021 with many more destinations around Japan. So have a look at their website and let us know which area you would like us to visit next in the survey. We also want to thank Tsuruoka City, who have helped us out and given us permission for the tour today. Check out their website and learn a little bit more about Tsuruoka and Dewa Sanzan. You can find out all about the local culture, outdoors, as well as tours and activities in the area. Last but not least are our local experts with The Hidden Japan. The Hidden Japan is a tour company based in Yamagata Prefecture, and they specialize in deep countryside experiences. So if you want to book a tour in that area, their website is the place to go. All right, so now we are going to check in with our second group where Alex and Luca are waiting to show us the foods and accommodation preferred by monks and pilgrims. Alex, are you guys ready on your side?
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Thank you, Jerome, for that wonderful opening. And thank you to Sarah for leading the first part of our tour. As mentioned, my name is Alex, and I'm one of the local guides here. I work at Hidden Japan, which is our company works to bring overseas visitors together with local people to create unique cultural experiences that you really can't experience anywhere else. And so today I'm here with my friend Luca, who is visiting from Italy. And it is his first time visiting here in Shukubo.
Actually, Alex, what is a shukubo?
Yes, so maybe this isn't such a familiar word for many people, but a shukubo is the traditional mountain-style lodge of the Yamabushi. And so right now we're at the base of Mount Haguro, the lowest of the Dewa Sanzan, which is actually, it's accessible year-round, which is why many people choose to stay here. And it's 2,446 stone stairs all the way to the top of the mountain.
I'm glad I'm here and not have to go through.
It takes a while, it's very exhausting, and that's the shortest one.
I see.
And so for traditionally, the Shukuba date back actually to the 13th century. And at the time, there was 360 of these mountain lodges. Today, that number has dwindled down to only 30.
Oh, wow.
But today, we are at Miyatobo, the biggest of the lodges here at Mount Haguro. And here, traditionally, various pilgrims and travelers and people who are making the sacred journey come to stay.
Ooh. Alex, I think we might have to repeat that last point. Could you repeat the last point for us, please?
Yes, yes. So traditionally, it was for pilgrims and people making the sacred journey. And today, many people who are exploring the Dewa Sanzan area and making the journeys, as well as tourists, of course, is very popular, come to stay. And so we will be taking a look inside and trying some of the traditional cuisine of the Yamabushi.
I'm hungry already.
Okay, let's go.
Let's go.
Very cool.
Probably not so windy inside, everyone.
Wow. Okay, what a greeting. This is my friend Miyata-san. Miyata-san is the chief priest here at Miyatobo, this giant Shukubo, and he is the host. And if you do wish to make a reservation here, it is imperative to make a reservation in advance. Everything is very, very scrutinous here, and you have to arrive on time, but it is an excellent choice to stay, especially if you're going to several mountains or just want to experience a typical stay. And so without further ado, we'll be looking inside these lovely lodgings. Of course, this is a Japanese style lodging, and so we will be taking off our shoes at the door and coming inside.
I wasn't expecting that just now, right?
Yes, no, it's quite the
Very surprised.
Quite the grand opening. And oh, what's
we have more surprises.
Yes.
Yes.
So,
like where?
これはちょっと説明していただけませんか？
デワ三山をお参りするときには、この締めというものを首にかけてお参りするのが習わしとなっております。宿坊で、お参りをする前にこの締めを受け取って、それからお山に向かったのが古くからの習わしになります。
ありがとうございました。So what he said was, this is called 締め, and you adjourn it like this for when you start your sacred journey up the mountains. And it acts as kind of a protector, spiritual. Look at it goes the other way.
Sorry, first time seeing this.
No, and it's a guardian sort of spirit that brings you up the mountain.
Getting set up.
I have a little background too. In that case, let's start our journey into the.
All right.
Yeah, Shukobo.
It does look good on you.
It looks dashing on you. Yes. So as I explained earlier, there's a very, very deep history. This building itself is 150 years old.
Wow.
Believe it or not. Oh, watch your head.
Yes.
But of course, as times change, they've adopted modern things such as we have electricity now, there's heat. Even some of the rooms have Wi-Fi and televisions.
Oh, wow.
And so it's very comfortable, beautiful, beautiful handmade artwork.
So much to see.
Yeah, off the earth, and it's very spacious and big.
Ooh, I think we are losing it a bit as we reconnect. Sorry about that, everyone.
Easily just, spend a good portion of your day exploring the lodge. Sorry, various artifacts.
Oh,
let's see. いただけませんか？
はい。羽黒山という横綱のお相撲さんなんですけど、戦争の時に東京の方からこの出羽三山の方にお相撲さんたちが逃げてきて、そしてここの宿坊に、戦争が終わるまでずっと滞在しておりました。そして戦争が終わった後にそのお礼としてこういった化粧回しであったり、座布団であったり、こういったものをこの宿坊に送っていただいたものです。
すごいです。So basically what he says was during the war times, many of the sumo wrestlers actually escaped from Tokyo and came all the way here to hide from the damages and destructions of the war. And they were allowed to stay here and seek refuge here.
Wow.
And all the way until the war was ended. And so after the war, they presented him with this official seal, tapestry. And still many sumo continue to make pilgrimages here to express their gratitude. And so here you can see, this is a sign, one of the most famous sumo wrestlers of their hand, compared to my very small hand. You can see it's about, fingers about twice as long as mine.
This guy was huge.
Yes.
I love it. Right.
Okay, close.
Yeah, still impressive.
Yes, very, yes. So this has, throughout time, this lodge has served many, many purposes. And it changes with the time. And it's a really great place to stay even now. It's just really, there's a history to it.
A lot, yes, I can tell.
Yes.
And here we have something else.
Yes. So as we arrive here, we have one of my favorite aspects of staying anywhere in Japan in a traditional style lodge, and it's the onsen, the Japanese style hot spring. And so you have the men's bath and the women's bath. And after a very long day of hiking, trudging through the mountains, 2,446 stairs all the way to the top of the mountain and down, you're going to be very sore.
Yeah, right?
And sometimes it's cold, it's rainy, your muscles, they just need to relax. And so here we have, it's the natural onsen baths. It's the public hot springs. And after a long day, you can just come and seep in the bath and relax your aching muscles.
I'm already feeling relaxed just by hearing that.
Yes, yes.
And this is, I've seen it before. This is like the onsen kind of symbol, right?
Yes, yes. This is onsen.
But it has its own touch. So it's very nice.
Yes, it's unique artwork. And here it says the name of the lodging.
Oh.
Yeah, it's, you know, when you go into these public baths, it's really just, it unwinds you.
Yeah, I really would like to jump in, but yeah, I'm also excited about the food we're gonna try soon. So that's cool.
Yeah, so actually, and also too, for maybe many overseas guests, bathing in a public setting is a little maybe uncomfortable or uneasy. However, Miyata-san is very kind and understanding. If you arrange in advance or ask nicely, he can allot a small segment of time for you.
Oh, that's great.
To come bathe privately. Although, please also understand, if it's peak time and there's many travelers, it may not always be possible. But usually he's very, very accommodating.
That's very nice.
So without further ado, let's go see the room.
All right, let's go.
Yeah.
Guys, like it's a beautiful introduction so far, and I also want to say that onsens is I love onsens as well. Personally, for me, I can't go into an onsen more than 5 minutes at a time. So what I do to enjoy an onsen is that I'll go into an onsen for about 5 minutes, I'll exit, and I'll go in for another 5 minutes, I exit. Onsens, are wonderful. And if you ever come to Japan, you need to try an onsen, an outdoors onsen with snow falling while you soak inside.
So, thank you, Jerome. Here we are at our room. We're going to enter now.
Wow,
and
so
the first
big.
thing you'll see
Nice.
Very, very spacious.
Is this tatami mat?
Yes, this is the traditional Japanese style tatami. It's very easy on your feet. It's made locally, and you have a Japanese style table. You'll see here too. You have these beautiful, beautiful views.
Wow.
The Haguro cedar, and of course it's winter, so you'll see the snow. It's very, very scenic.
Beautiful
and in the
winter
spring,
scenery.
It's very green and lush. Same thing in the summer, and then it's beautiful, beautiful, bright yellows and oranges in the fall. And you see too, it's very traditional, but we have things like television, modern heater. And you see it's a very large room.
Yes.
It's because it's a public room.
Ah, I see.
So you come and you stay with multiple people. And traditionally, when everyone's making their pilgrimages, is you come and you exchange stories with fellow travelers.
Nice.
You bond. It's a communal experience.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is a big room, and I guess many people sleep here. Yes. But where are the beds?
Yes, as you'll notice, there's no Western style beds.
There, right?
But in Japan, actually, a lot of people have an ultimate sleeping style item. It's called futo.
Oh, I see. I heard of this before.
So basically, it's a very, very soft, squishy mat that goes on the floor. And in this winter, it's very, very, very warm. In the summer, they actually have a different style that's very, very soft and allows your body to breathe. So it's cooling. And it doesn't look like much, but it's very comfortable. And
wow.
In the event, again, too, you're a sensitive sleeper or you just want a little extra padding, you can ask very nicely and they will provide you with two. And you cannot distinguish it from a Western style mattress.
Huh, that's interesting.
Yes.
And what about, do they have private accommodation as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So as we continue our tour,
we have different rooms, I see.
Yes. So here we have an
nice.
Of a private style room you can book in advance.
Same commodities, but in a private use.
Yeah, and it can fit about 2 to 3 people.
Nice scroll on the wall there.
Yeah, it's very beautiful artwork. And a unique element is, as you see the window, you'll see there are no blinds.
True, yeah.
Just the screen. And part of that is if you have the Shugendo, the Yamabushi way of thinking, where in the morning, in a traditional style, in a more of a Western style building, you have the curtains, you open them or you turn on the light, and it's very, very bright. It hurts your eyes. It's a very sudden shock. But here you're living with nature. And when the morning sun comes up, it slowly brightens the room and your body wakes up with nature.
I see. So it's a real communing with nature, all the natural surroundings.
Yes. And so you can see, even as far into the architecture of the building, the Yamabushi way of thinking is penetrated.
Beautiful. So architecture and everything else, everything is permeated with this spirituality of the Yamabushi.
Yes. Wow. Everything you do here is spiritual in some sort. Yes.
It's really, really interesting. And this place is huge. There are so many different spaces that we are exploring. I feel so lucky.
Yes. And then here we are in the communal bathrooms and the sinks. So in the morning, you have to get a very early start when you climb these mountains.
Right.
So in the morning, you'll wake up alongside of everyone. Well, maybe you kind of wake up their own pace. And around 6 or 7 in the morning, you'll gather for a collective ritual for purification of your body and soul before you climb these mountains, as well as protection. Yes. So here we are, we're heading into the main shrine. Again, you wake up around 6 or 7. Very, very unique.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. Alex and Luca, if you guys can hear this, you might have to
They're all different from each other.
Hello? Can everyone hear me okay?
We're okay for now, yes.
So this is here, we have the lanterns, okay, yeah, sorry. So these are the hand-painted lanterns. Some of those are very, very, very old. You can see their age on them too, almost.
Yeah,
and,
they are beautiful.
Yeah, they illuminate the space. And then here we're heading to the main shrine area. It has many different elements, as you can see.
Yeah, so much to see.
Yeah, so as you can see, Luca, you've been to quite a few shrines and temples in Japan.
Yes, I have.
And this doesn't really look like any of them.
Yeah, it's interesting because it has some Shinto shrine elements, but I also see some Buddhist temple elements. So it looks a bit mixed up. What's going on here, Alex?
Let's ask Mr. Miyata. Miyata-san, この神社と普通の神社の違いは何ですか？
はい。出羽三山は古くから生まれ変わりのお山と言われてきました。山を母とし、そして神として、私たちの魂が山から生まれて、そしてまた亡くなってからまた山に帰るという、そして、亡くなった後に神になっていくという考えが昔からありましたので、ここでは出羽三山においては神様と私たち亡くなったご先祖様、仏様を一緒にお祭りしているというのが、昔からある信仰のスタイルです。
はい、わかりました。So, kind of he explained a little bit what Sarah touched on earlier, is the Yamabushi have a way of thinking that the mountains are kind of the mother of all of us. And so when we are born, our soul starts in the mountain, and as they make the circle of life, they end at the mountain. And so that's why there's the 3 mountains of Dewa Sanzan. And Haguro-san is the mountain of the present. And so we believe that the journey starts here. It's also called the Mountain of Rebirth for that reason. And so with rebirth, you go through the cycle of life and end with death, which is why we have the Buddhist style shrine. And so you can see the influence of both sides of the religion here collective in the Shugendo tradition.
Wow, very interesting. Yes, so, I think I've never seen such setup before.
Yes, it's very unique. Here we have Japanese style tori, Buddhist style, funeral ritual item, and it's all together under one roof.
Very, very interesting.
Yes. So as we move forward, we're now getting maybe to my favorite part of the journey is the food.
I'm getting hungrier. I'm very hungry, actually.
Yes. So as I mentioned earlier, it's imperative that you arrive on time. It's because everyone who is traveling will be meeting together explaining the time. And so to arrive late would be kind of very rude.
I see.
And it would not, well, of course, your food would get cold as well.
Right.
Yes. Yes. But, you know,
Sorry about that, everyone. I think we're losing the quality just a little bit.
Yeah. Everything has a very deep meaning, I can tell.
yes. So yes, as we're making our way, here we are heading to one of the several dining halls here. It's a huge establishment.
Mm-hmm.
It hosts many people. And left your head.
Yes.
And here we are. Whoa.
Oh,
wow.
Yes. This looks very inviting.
Yeah. So here we are in the main dining, one of the
smell.
dining halls. Smells very strongly. And here we have Netherlands prepared an immaculate display of food. So, Luca, why don't you take a seat?
All right.
I believe this is for you. Yes. So this is called Shugendo.
It looks amazing.
It means literally the cuisine of the devotee.
Wow.
And it's all made from locally sourced vegetables, roots, berries from the mountains. Because traditionally, for Yamabushi, they come out here to survive. And so they can't really bring a lot of different supplies.
Mm-hmm.
They have to, everything they get have to take from the mountain. And so it's also very symbolic in nature. You see, we have three strands of bamboo sprout arranged in a very unique way, right?
Yes.
Can you guess what those mean?
I get maybe the tree mountain?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah, so everything has a different meaning. And here we have, it's called Gomodofu.
Wow, this is a type of tofu.
Yes.
It looks delicious.
Yes, this is actually the very famous main dish of Dewa Sanzan, and you can't really experience it anywhere else. Also, again, I mentioned that you do really need a reservation to stay here. The reason for that being is the Gomodofu is the main dish of the Shojin-yori. However, it only has a lifespan of 1 day.
What?
So basically, they make a certain allotment of it in the morning. And if you arrive suddenly and they don't have it, they can't really accommodate you. And it would be very embarrassing as a host not to have the main dish.
Wow, so it's as fresh as it can get.
As fresh as it can get. It's made very early in the morning.
Impressive.
Yes. And then here we have various, this is, it's a rapeweed, stem with sauces, local mushrooms and other mountain vegetables.
This is really like poetry in the form of a meal.
Yes.
It's really special.
Yes.
I think I rarely see something like this. This must be the most beautiful, and I'm sure it will be very tasty meal as well.
Yes. And then here you have is tempura.
Yes.
So you'll see that there are 5 main items, and they're all 5 different colors. And that's because it a lot of the mindset and theory behind it is the rule of 5, which is actually originally found in Taoism. Because Shugendo has a lot of very different elements from different religions. And so here you have 5 different colors, 5 different flavors, and 5 different textures.
Wow. So everything here has a deep meaning.
Yes.
Everything is in place and everything is supposed to have different specific meaning. That's very something.
Yes. And so maybe you want to try some. Everything
can I?
Looks really good. Yes.
I'll have a bite.
Yes. And just tell us what you think, because I know your first time.
Yes. I will try. Gomodofu?
Yes, that's Gomodofu. That's the very famous specialty. It's a little hard to grip.
Oh.
It's very squishy.
The consistency is unique, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow. Very good. Oh my God. I'm very hungry. This one, it's really something. I also like this layer on top of it. The consistency is unique, guys. And you can really tell that it's something very fresh. And not only fresh, but only very healthy. It's all the ingredients are from around here. So it has been just made probably few minutes ago. It's really something.
Yes, yeah, it was prepared this morning.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Really tastes like some. I haven't tasted such tofu before. I like tofu. This is probably the best tofu I ever had.
Yes, and then maybe try a few other of the vegetables.
Can I feel spoiled. You know, I have so much choice. Yes. I go for this one then.
Yes, and it's the ragweed. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And these are all seasonal, and so if you come here several different times in the year, it's a different menu almost every day.
So tender, and the sauce on top, it's great combined with this kind of vegetable, really good. And these kind of vegetables are very so kind of delicate as well. They in the mouth it really melts. It's really something.
Yes. Okay. So this is one type of shoujin, but if you come over to see what I'm about to eat, it's very, very, very different. Yes. So shoujin actually it originates from the essential need to survive. So originally it's a very, very, very meager meal from just whatever you can take from nature. And while you see Luca's food, it's vegetarian in nature, in principle. Sometimes there's things such as dashi or different parts of animal that just get incorporated because, in the winter in these harsh conditions, you need it to survive. And so what I'm looking at right now is actually the authentic original style of the food. What Luca was eating is actually based on the same religious principles, cuisine meant for tourism or visitors essentially. That's just based on the same culinary concepts. So this is, you just have rice, vegetables, gingers, and then you can see here, it's miso soup. And so I'm not sure if you guys got a look real quick at, there's miso soup right there.
Yes.
And inside of his, you have all sorts of things like tofu and mushrooms.
It looks delicious.
If you come back and look at mine, there's nothing. And we call this mirror miso soup in Japanese because you can see the reflection. And so even eating it, it's, again, spiritual in nature. And, this is more of the very serious training style. And so if you come here and stay as your guest, of course, you'll be having the splendid traditional cuisine that's based on these principles. But this too, it's all fresh, local, and delicious.
Alex, I am so impressed. I'm in heaven right now.
Well, wait till you see what we have next.
Oh, we have more.
Yes, of course.
Let's go.
So, we have a few very, very interesting items here.
Yeah, I cannot really guess what are these. It's a mask.
It looks like mask.
Dish and mask, and I see sake ball, right? So
yes. And so it's a Japanese tengu. It's one of the
beautiful color.
Yes, these are hand carved, and tengu are believed to be kind of the mischievous spirits that inhabit the forest.
I see.
They're kind of devilish in nature. But when you turn it over,
don't tell me this is a cup.
It's a sake cup. Yes, so it's very unique in that nature. Again, these are all handcraft, one of a kind. But they have various purposes. So you'll see here, it has a very long nose.
Yes.
And so when you fill this with sake, you can't put it down, right?
Oh, right.
And so
you cannot balance.
Everything that you do, even something like drinking sake, is spiritual nature. It's training. You have to, concentrate. You have to commit. And until you finish, you can't put it down.
Whoa.
And here, I'll let you hold this for a second.
Thank you.
This one actually is my favorite.
Looks
very simple.
That's a cup as well.
It's also a cup. And you see there's a hole in the middle. And the theory behind this one is you have to plug the bottom with your finger, pour the sake, and until you are finished, you cannot put it down. So it requires concentration, it requires determination, and commitment.
I see.
Even though you're drinking sake, you're still training.
Wow.
Yes.
I did not see that coming. I would have never guessed these are sake cups.
Yes. And so very unique. When you come, you can have really delicious sake too. It's all made from local rice. And
What? These are not dishes?
these are sake cups.
As well.
So again, I mentioned usually when it's not a pandemic, you know, staying here, it's communal. You're meeting other practitioners, you're meeting other travelers. And so you pour the sake in here and you pass it around.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and they come in various sizes. But these are actually not, these are the small sizes.
What? Small size?
These
These big.
small sizes, yes.
What's going on
So
here?
I'll show you in the back.
Oh, we have more.
Yes, you can see these are hand painted as well. They each represent one of the 3 mountains. As we come back here.
Hey, I thought this is furniture. This is decoration.
Yes.
You use this?
Yes. So these are, yeah, you can see it's hand painted as well. And let's get down here. Hand painted as well. These are the larger size for when you have massive parties, massive amounts of people. This, so you see the sake bottle back there. This one can hold 5 bottles.
5.
5.
Until
me, yes. This one can hold 15 bottles.
And this is like
and this one can hold 25 bottles
beautiful.
Of sake. Yes.
I love the decorations as well.
Yes. So next time you guys are thinking of visiting Yamagata Prefecture, stop by over here. It's one of the lodges, and you can try your hand at have a drink with all of us here.
Yeah,
welcome here, and you'll see it's delicious food, very nice, luxurious accommodation. So I guess kanpai. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alex and Luca, and Miyata-san as well, of course. Wow, I think after this whole pandemic is over and we can all travel to Japan again, we definitely deserve to have a drink out of one of those cups. Yeah. So now we have learned a lot during this tour, and we are going to be moving into the final part of our tour today. Before I do so, I want to remind everyone one more time to please check out our survey link in the chat if you have the time. Now, we will be bringing back both teams, moving into our live question and answer session. Alex and Sarah, we will have both of your teams with us now. So are you guys ready to take some questions?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, fantastic. Okay, so I believe that we have a first question that goes to Sarah Dohi and the Nakano-san, the Yamabushi monk. Could you let us know what a day in the life of a Yamabushi is like?
山伏の毎日はどんな感じなのか、そして山伏は一般の方でもなれますか、それとも通年のフルタイムで山伏でないといけないかというのが、あったら教えてください。
普段はですね、別の仕事をしたりとかしております。で、フルタイムで山伏なかなか難しいので、その時。
So there are different types of Yamabushi. There are Yamabushi that are that work at the shrines full time, all the time, all day long, all night long. But more Yamabushi these days that have a regular job. For example, I have a coworker at the city office. He's a city employee, but he's also Yamabushi during the weekends or in the summer during his summer holidays.
So he's moonlighting.
You can have a regular job and become a Yamabushi. And actually, anybody can become a Yamabushi. If Dohi, you want to be a female Yamabushi,
yes,
or me, or anyone, you can take the training that is organized by the Dewa Sanzan Shrine. There are official Yamabushi trainings, and if you take part in those trainings, you can be recognized as a Yamabushi priest.
Wow.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting. I see. So if I want to be a Yamabushi, like if I want to do that as besides my main job, I could do so as well.
Yes, you can. You will need to have a lot of spiritual training already accomplished in your life to be recognized as so. And it has to come from the heart. You have to really desire to become a Yamabushi and to get enlightened by the mountain. And to do so, you will need to take very, very hard, difficult physical trainings in the mountains.
So what kind of trainings do you do, Yamabushi-san?
山伏の修行って教えてもらえますか？どんなものなのか、どんな形なのか。
山伏の修行は教えちゃいけないんです。秘密です。修行の中で言ってはいけないっていうことがありました。
Unfortunately, we cannot tell you what a Yamabushi training is in details because it's a secret. And if you really want, do you want to know what the Yamabushi training is?
Yes, of course.
Then you will need to take the training yourself.
Okay, maybe next time.
Right, so this is what it's about. It's a very secret, mysterious tradition that cannot be revealed to anybody. But anybody can try it.
Wow. Right. Okay, sure. So no divulging of secrets. I will only know if I become a if I take the training myself.
Yes.
Okay, so that's fine. Actually, we have a second question for the Yamabushi for Nakano-san again. And this was a question that many of our audience members were asking just now during the tour. And that is the horn that Nakano-san was wearing. So can Nakano-san share with us a little bit more about, when does he play the horn? Does he play it in different ways for different purposes?
中野さん、ホラガイについての質問がありまして、どんな時に吹いているか、で吹いている曲って言えますか、その曲には何か意味がありますか、バリエーションがありますか、どんな象徴があれば何の象徴をしていますか。
魔を払うということで聞きます。そして、あとは、音はもうこの1曲しか残されてないです。ブブブブっていう音。そして、あとは、これを吹くのはどんな時かって、いろんな時に吹きます。携帯電話みたいな感じですね。
この1曲しか残らないというのは神仏分離のせいなんですか？
そこはちょっと関係ない。
口伝だからいろいろ失われますね。Okay, so the main purpose of the, in Japanese we call that horagai. It's a conch shell. The main of the conch shell is to repel evil spirits. It's the first purpose of it. But it also had a function of communication between peers, between Yamabushi, at a time where mobile phones didn't exist. It was the only way for them to signal their position, to tell that I'm leaving, I'm coming, I'm here. So in order to do that, they had several tunes in the past. Oral tradition, there's a lot of tunes that have been lost. So there's only this tune. Only one tune is remaining. Yeah, because a lot of them. So yes. So this can mean I'm here, I'm leaving, I'm coming.
Oh,
that's really.
So it has different meanings, and you have to interpret it the way you want.
I see. Right. Oh, wow. That's really interesting. Thank you so much for that, Sarah and Dohi, and of course, Nakano-san. We have a couple of questions for our team at the Shukubo, at the temple lodging as well. So for this is actually for the chief priest, Miyata-san. So it's about Shojin Ryori. Is Shojin Ryori considered, is it more than just, like a vegetarian food? Could you, would Miyata-san be able to explain to us, if there are some like philosophical meanings behind, Shojin Ryori?
はい、の方がご質問があります。宮田さんにとってションジン料理はどのような意義がありますかって知りたいです。
修験道において食べるということも一つの修行になります。自分の命を 続けていく一つの修行になります。そしてまた、精進料理というのは山から取れたものを食べるので、母である山から取れた新鮮なものを体に入れることによって、体の中からきれいにしていくという意味もあります。
わかりました。So Miyata-san says that, one aspect of life is when you eat, it allows you to continue your life. It puts you on the path to continue down the road. And so for someone who is a practitioner of Shugendo, you get your energy from the mountains. We believe that, the mountains is the mother. And so for the things that grow on the mountain are also part of that same mountain energy. And so when you stay on the mountain, of course, you're getting, when you're experiencing the mountain and being outside, you're getting the energy on the outside too. But when you're taking these beautiful, delicious things, these treasures of the mountain into your body, you're purifying yourself. You're becoming beautiful on the inside, on the outside, and in that way, becoming one of nature in multiple aspects.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's really meaningful. So it's beyond just, just simply being vegetarian. It's about, becoming one with nature, purifying your body, yeah?
Yes, and one thing I would like to add too is there's various styles of Shujin Yori.
Sure.
While it's vegetarian in principle, it's not always vegetarian. But if you do have dietary constraints, you can specify ahead of time, and they're very accommodating.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's great. I think that's going to be great news for many of our audience members who might potentially want to travel to Yamagata, Tsuruoka in the future and stay at the Shukubo. Yeah. We have another question from our audience member. So could Miyata-san actually tell us a little bit more about the morning prayers that they do as part of the Shukubo stay?
プレイの方が4つにご質問があって、朝のお参りのこと、もうちょっと深く説明してくれませんか？とおっしゃいました。
朝の
はい、登る前、山登りの前の、はい。
出羽三山というのは3つのお山で、現在と過去と未来を表しています。で、羽黒山が現在、スタート地点になるんです。で、そこの羽黒山からお参りが始まるんですけれど、その麓にある宿坊でお参りに行く前にご祈祷をして、お祓いをして、体をきれいに清めていただいてからスタートするというふうにあります。
わかりました。So he says, so Dewa Sanzan, it's 3 mountains, and it represents the past, the present, and the future. And since here we are in the present, it's important that we come in with a clean slate. And so in the morning is various prayer rituals that they say, and it essentially expunges your body from impurifications, so that way when you enter the cycle of rebirth, you're starting anew. Is the mindset behind the rituals.
Ah, wow. Okay, sure. So again, it's also part of the whole purifying oneself, philosophy as well, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, sure. We have another question, I believe for Miyata-san as well, the Shukubo. So are the masks and the plates, are they made locally, and are monks involved in making them?
はい、やつにご質問があって、この世のもの、あそこの酒が、こちらの辺で作りましたか？
いや、このような杯はすべて全部毎年この出羽三山にお参りに来る方が奉納して持ってきてくる。で、ここに来た方にこういった杯でお酒を飲ませてくださいということでプレゼントして。
はい、わかりました。So he says that a lot of these items are actually not made locally, but there's certain other practitioners who they bring it on kind of maybe a yearly basis as a present. And yeah, so in that way it actually kind of accumulates, and that's where you get very different and unique ones.
Wow.
Yes, but they're all very customized. These say the names of the mountains. But they're not actually local sourced. I love the artwork is actually.
Right, I see. And the biggest one, the biggest cup that we saw today it fits 25 bottles of sake, was it?
Yes. If you wait here a second. Yes. So this is one bottle of, this is the local sake. It's very, very, very delicious. Made from fresh shonai rice. And yeah, so this is one bottle. Here it can fit 5, 15, and 25. I do not think I could drink half of this. So I think you'd have to have a lot of people for it to use the biggest one. But in some instances, when people are making mass pilgrimages, they will be using the biggest one. It's not just for show.
Right. I see. Oh, wow, that's really interesting. Thank you so much. I think we have one question for Team Haguro-san. Yeah, so if you guys can hear me, we do want to ask though, we have a question for Nakano-san. Do the monks ever walk the path at night? Maybe for ritual or something like that?
ありましたが、山口さんは夜間ここら辺歩くことがありますか？
夜は寝ます。
なんか何かの理由がありますか？神様を邪魔させることが。
夜は多分神様も休んでるんで、ただ修行の時は夜も起きてる時があります。どういうことやってるかは言えないですよね。はい。
So basically, Yamabushi do not walk the sacred places during night, but sometimes they do during the rituals. But then again, he cannot tell you when they are allowed to walk this area during the night and what they are doing during those rituals. But usually, no, they don't walk in this area at night.
Okay, sure. I guess it will also be a little bit dangerous because it's kind of dark in that area too, right? Can you hear me? Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Okay.
So I was just going to say that. I guess it's also a little bit dangerous to walk at night as well when it's completely dark. Yeah.
Yeah. What the Yamabushi said is that usually during night the gods are sleeping too, so it's better to not disturb them during their sleep. So,
of course.
One of the reasons why.
I see. Sure. And is the shrine open 24/7 though? Is it open like all the time or is it closed during some time?
三山神社って通年営業してますか？開いてますか？どうやら誰でも入れますね。
入れます。
Yes, it is. Everybody can enter Dewa Sanzan Shrine whenever they want.
Okay, sure. That'll be really interesting for our audience members. Yeah. I think we are just about out of time today. So I just want to give a special thanks to, our friends from the Hidden Japan, the local Yamabushi and Shugendo support, and both of our teams in Yamagata today. So Sarah and Dohi, thank you so much for joining us. Did you want to, thank you so much for this.
Thank you everyone for watching us and listening to our stories.
Thank you.
If you have any question, feel free to ask them to the Hidden Japan and Alex.
Yes, sure. And Alex, thank you so much for your time, and Luca, and of course for Miyata-san and the chief priest as well.
Thank you, everyone. Yamagata Prefecture is very near and dear to our hearts, and we know that while right now you may not be able to travel, we hope that you will consider in the future, and we will be waiting and very excited to welcome you, maybe with a giant bowl of sake in the near future. Thank you guys very much.
We're all looking forward to that, definitely. Yeah. So we will thank you so much to both teams. I really appreciate that we have both teams are supporting us on site today. Arigatou gozaimashita. We will link the Hidden Japan website and Tsuruoka City in the chat, so please have a look. Beautiful. Thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimashita. We really appreciate all of you attending and hope that you had a nice time with us today in Yamagata. Please stay tuned to our Japan Travel Facebook page for the next virtual tour event announcement. Goodbye, everyone. from Sarah, Dohi, Nakano-san, Alex, Luca, and Miyata-san, and of course myself. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time.
See you. Bye.
See you. Everyone,
Bye.
thank you. Bye-bye.
はい。ありがとうございました。